high school basketball action here at Hoosac Valley High School as the Drury Blue Devils have come to Cheshire to take on the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes. Welcome everybody. Tim Morey alongside of Rick Bua, and also in our broadcast booth will be John Jacoby. And folks, we got a dandy here. The crowd is pouring into Hoosac Valley. It's going to be a big crowd here today. And it's a big game, Rick. Drury number one in Division 5 in the state rankings comes into this game with a record of 14-2, 7-2 in the league. Hoosac Valley, number 9 in the rankings, comes in at 9-7 and 2-7. Big game for Hoosac Valley. They'd like to win and automatically qualify for the state championship. Drury, they'd like to get a share of the division crown, of their league crown, and they're tied. It's a three-way tie for the top between Pittsfield and Waconia.
Yeah, let's start, Tim, like you said, with the Drury Blue Devils. 14-2, an incredible year so far. The two losses, both to Pittsfield High, 58-56, and a heartbreaking loss at the Buckybilla Gym. That was only the second game of the season. And, of course, they chose to play their very worst game of the season in a 20-point loss, 78-58 down at PHS. But other than that, they've run the table, which means they've beaten Monument Mountain twice, they've beaten Waconia twice, they've beaten Taconic twice, and that gave them that 7-2 record in the Berkshire League. And who would have thought, you know, I mean, at the beginning of the season, Coach Rossett said, you know, he's a smart man. He's coached a long time. He knows what he is bringing back this year. The biggest loss last year was, of course, the big guy, Sammy Mormon. But Shane Foster's appearance this year as a sophomore and his progression and his maturity has really strengthened that Drury team. And he's getting contributions from his bench. And Jorge Bond is having just an incredible overall season. Actually, one of the leading scorers in Western Mass at 28.13 points per game. So this one, Tim, and we say it all the time, it's a cliche. You could throw the records out the window, and you certainly can. It was more of a slightly lopsided game back at the Buckybilla Gym in January. Drury just jumped right out, if you remember, and held I believe it was a 30-10 lead at halftime. Hoosac made a little mini run. Aiden Wicks was scoreless in that first half. Quinnell Bradley hadn't gotten started yet, and so they did pick it up. But this team, this Hoosac Valley squad, you've got to give Matt Larrabee so much credit for what he's done with this young team. You know, he's got some younger kids that are coming along. The two seniors, or the three seniors, including Blake Mazzio, along with Wicks and Bradley, have not disappointed. And they want this one really bad, not just to get to that 10 wins, but you know, they've been rewarded already by their seeding in D5, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
And John, you've been, of course, a coach for many, many years, and you look at Hoosac Valley and Drury. Each team features a player who scores 20 points a game or better. But it's really more than that. And if you look at the evolution of these two teams this season, I think the key to their season for Drury has been the evolution of and the improved play of Shane Faucher for Drury, and for Hoosac Valley, the young junior Terrell Johnson.
Yeah, we did the game up in Drury, and Terrell did a great job on the offensive boards and played a good, solid game. And he was, you know, a little unknown. He didn't have a big role last year, so he stepped up his game. Shane battled some illnesses last year, and I only saw him play a couple times. I knew he had the size and height, but I didn't know he was going to be this good this quick. He made a huge leap from where he was last year, and both players have made big impacts on their teams.
Yeah, I mean, you're expecting, as a coach, you're expecting the usual big games out of players like Jorge Bond, who comes into this game averaging 28 points, and Aiden Wicks, who's averaging 20, who just scored his 1,000th career point in the last game. But it's the other players. It's the role players that you need to have step up in games like this.
100%. Like you look at Connor Hinkle, plays the perfect role. He's a smaller big man, but he does all the dirty and little things for Drury. And then for Hoosac, in the game up at Drury, Blake Mazzio was shut out. I look for him to have a big game tonight. He's a senior that wants to do well in possibly his last Drury Hoosac matchup. And the role players for Hoosac are going to make or break the team tonight. Wicks did not have a great score in the game. He averages 6 point home tonight and get that 10th win to automatically get in the tournament.
Rick, you've got the rundown of the Western Mass divisions. Drury plays in Class C. Hoosac Valley plays in Class D coming into this game, and both teams coming in this game, they're ranked in the number 1 position.
Yeah, and that's a tribute to playing in the Berkshire League and the schedule that Hoosac Valley and Drury have played this year. Drury this year added the Northampton Blue Devils, which they were able to beat at home in a very good ball game. Very talented Blue Devil team, great shooting team for that victory. I really think, and what happens a lot, and John, I don't know if you would agree with me or not, when you take a look at the top 8, more than 95% of the time, the top 4 in each division make it to the semifinals.
Yeah, the top 4 seeds are usually above, and the other teams are working hard to get in, and then they just want to have a shot. Like McCann playing Drury, that's a tough matchup for McCann. And then Pioneer Valley Chinese, I know they don't play in as tough of a division as Hoosac Valley, so you're going in those games, major underdogs. In the last few years that they've changed the Western Mass, it's been the top 4 seeds almost in every bracket.
And let's talk a little bit about, Rick, we get a moment, let's talk a little bit about a common opponent here. Hoosac Valley, as you indicated, Rick, they played Wednesday night against Pittsfield, a very good Pittsfield team. They have played Pittsfield tough both games. They have led Pittsfield going into the fourth quarter of both games. They lost both games, but they played Pittsfield tough. And Drury, of course, as you said, they beat a good Northampton team on Tuesday night. So, there's a little bit to build on with both of these teams. I know Hoosac Valley has to have been satisfied with their performance against Pittsfield High. They really gave Pittsfield all they could handle.
Yeah, Hoosac is not intimidated by Pittsfield, neither is Drury, but for that matter. But neither team, Pittsfield has found a way to win all the close games. They beat Hoosac in 2 tough battles. And the game up at Drury, Drury had it won for 31 out of the 32 minutes. But Pittsfield found a way. But Hoosac knows they can play with these tough teams. They got into their head a little bit, I think, up at Drury. And today, playing Pittsfield on Wednesday actually is a good precursor. Even though they didn't come up with the win, Wicks got 20-something points and got his 1,000th point against a very good basketball team. They know they can play with Pittsfield, so they know they can play with Drury.
That Berkshire League, Tim, is so tough.
So tough.
It's incredible. I know that Taconic's down a little bit with a lot of graduation players who graduated last June. So Coach Heafy's, doing the best with what he has down there. But it's always tough to play that team. Coach Edgerton with his generals are very, very tough. We did a Drury Monument game, Tim, just a week and a half ago, and we saw what Randy Colas has.
Exactly.
So somebody's going to finish first, and somebody's going to finish in the middle, and somebody's going to finish last.
Right.
It could be anybody, and we have a guest.
And this is a programming note. Joining us, hold on a second. Can you rip off your headset for a second?
Okay, Matt.
We're going to bring in a special guest, if you can fit him in here. Come on in here, sir. We are absolutely delighted to have with us one of the all-time Drury greats. In fact, in my book, he is the greatest player at Drury High School, Billy Reeves. And Billy, thanks for joining us. And of course, you played with those great Drury teams in the early 70s. Your brother Lee Reeves, you had some great teams, Ronnie Goss, all those guys. And of course, you played in this game over the years. And in fact, I listened to part of your last game here, Hoosac Valley in 1972, when you guys came away with a hard-fought 1-point victory. But this was quite a place to play in back in the day, as was the Armory.
Absolutely. It was crazy. The atmosphere was awesome down here, just like it was at the Armory. And, I think it came down to 1 point at the end of the game.
It did. In fact, it was interesting listening to the broadcast by Bucky Bullitt, and I got a copy of it for you. Your brother Lee, who was no slouch in his own right, he fouled out of the game. It was a 1 point game with about 30 seconds to go, got injured, you had to come out of the game. And so Coach Girardi had a few replacements on the floor, so it was a makeshift lineup at the end that held on, and you guys came away with a victory. And there was the person who was assisting Bucky Bullitt with the stats and all that said he couldn't believe the atmosphere for a high school game here at Hoosac Valley, as well as down in the Armory.
Right.
You know, I played at the Armory my junior year, and of course we went up to the new high school. And I said to, Tommy Bullitt, who played in my era, and both Tommy and I both agreed that the best place to play high school basketball was at the North Adams Armory.
Definitely was the Armory. The crowds were crazy down there. We had they call it the 12th man out in Seattle, right?
Right.
We had what we call our 6th man. It was the bleacher bums.
Right.
Yeah. They were awesome. It was crazy down there.
Yeah, it really, and it just the crowd was hostile, and you loved it. The other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was I was talking with Dave Reset and Jack Reset. In that 72 year, of course, you had a great team. Hoosac and Drury ended up playing each other in the Western Mass tournament, which was held that year at the Pittsfield Boys Club.
Another 1 point thing.
Another 1 point game. And the thing I remember about it, and I to this day believe it was the biggest crowd I ever saw for a high school game in Berkshire County. And Paul Procopio, the legendary St. Joe coach, talked to me about that game, and he said, Tim, it's the only time, if you remember in that game, Monument Mountain was in the first semifinal game, and they won, and they had about 300 people there, and there were about 2,000 North Adams and Adams fans. So those fans left, and there were people waiting outside to get into the game who had no tickets. They sold extra tickets to let people into the game. Paul Procopio said only Hoosac and Drury could do something like that.
Yeah, aside from the Armory, I think my most favorite place to play was probably the boys' club.
It was quite a place to play, wasn't it?
It was a nice place to play, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the crowds were big there. The court, of course, was fantastic. And when you had a big game there, it was just an electric atmosphere.
Billy, when in your era when you played, you played for the legendary coach Joe Girardi, of course. And down here in Adams and Cheshire was Bob Malarczyk.
Yep.
He has some talented kids on his team.
He sure did.
It was just a battle between the two. I mean, he had Jocko Koperniak, Mike Stefanski, Al Prasner. They were huge.
They were big.
Yeah.
That would have been my junior year. They were a very good team that year.
Yeah.
I think we played them up at the Armory, and I think we beat them pretty badly up there.
Yes, you did.
And then when we came down here, it was like, man, it was another 1 or 2 points. It was crazy in here. They have great crowds, and they get behind their team down here as they should.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun playing them.
Bill, also what's interesting, of course, the high schools are bigger, and before we came on when we got here, Bill was gracious enough. We took a picture with Jorge Bond and Sammy Bullitt on this year's team, and I introduced Jorge to Billy, and all he said is, "Boy, you're big." I said,
Billy was average size on the teams he played on.
That was you had some big squads.
We did. Let's see, I played a little bit my sophomore year. We had Kerry Desati,
yes.
And my brother Lee. They were both, I think Lee was about 6'5", and Kerry was 6'6", maybe.
Yes, yeah.
And then my senior year, must have been 4 or 5 of us that were about 6'3".
My remembrance of you, Bill, also was you were such a matchup problem in high school because of your size. If a coach put a bigger player on you, you'd go right by him. I mean, you had the skill both to penetrate, and of course, a smaller player, you had the advantage on him. So you were at that time, back in the early 70s, I thought a real mismatch for coaches to deal with because of your size.
Yeah.
You know, let me ask you this question, Bill. You think, this is my argument with people today. Of course, no 3-point line back in that day, and of course, you still hold the record for most points scored in a season for Drury, as well as probably Berkshire County. And you were the first, I believe you were one of the first players ever to score more than 1,000 points. And the thing is, I wonder how many points you would have scored with a 3-point line. I know you're.
That's a good question. Probably a couple more anyway.
Okay, you're right. But let me ask you this question. I loved playing the Hoosac and Drury, Adams Drury at that time. Just a great rivalry, great atmosphere. But the thing that people don't realize is that there was a tremendous amount of respect between the players. I know when I was in high school, et cetera, I played a lot of basketball in the summer down at Haskins School. That was the place to go, or up in Deming Park in Pittsfield. But we played loads of basketball, and we would mix and match teams, et cetera. So you played with kids from North Adams and whatnot. So you became friendly with them.
Yeah, I became fairly good friends with, Al Prasnar,
right,
was one, Tony Rinaldi,
right,
Greg Schwartz.
Yep.
Greg.
Yeah. A good person. Matter of fact, I'd go over his house every once in a while I was still in high school.
Right.
And we'd play outside. He had a basketball court outside.
That's right.
It was pretty awesome. Good group of guys over there.
Yeah, and that's what people, there is, of course, the rivalry, but again, I think there's tremendous amount of respect between the players. Of course, we've been watching now for a couple of years, another great young player that's come along for Drury, Jorge Bond.
Awesome.
Really, really a solid player. Much like yourself, Bill, he does a lot of everything.
He got very smart out there in the court. What is he, a junior this year? I think he's a junior, right?
Yes, just a junior, right.
Yeah, the kid's got a lot of basketball smarts, boy. I'm telling you what.
Right.
The kid is awesome to watch. I've probably seen him play about 5 or 6 times now, and it's just a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, he really is. He does so many things. I know, Coach Reset has talked to me about him, and he said people focus on the scoring, and that's the obvious thing. But he's also one of our best rebounders. He plays solid defense, and as you indicated, he's smart with the ball. He says, I know he can have the ball in his hands at the end of the game, and he doesn't make many mistakes.
That's right.
And that's, of course, a real luxury for a point guard to have. Thinking back, Bill, in the early 70s, I remember some of the great players, but boy, there were a number of them. Berkshire County had strong basketball. Who do you remember as some of the top players that you played against back in the day?
John Tate, Pittsfield.
Oh, yeah,
Johnny Tate out of Pittsfield. They had a couple down in Lennox. I can't, Lennox or Lee. I can't remember the name.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. Yeah, I think he was a year ahead of me.
Yeah.
Over at Taconic, you had Larry King and Larry Black.
Yep.
It was funny. We played them 4 times when I was my junior and senior year. They would win at the Armory. We'd go down to Taconic and win down there. It was nuts. And they took it to us at the Armory both times.
Right.
And then down there, we very close games, but we managed to beat them.
Yeah. Yes. And also, I remember, especially back at that time, you had your league here, which was tough enough. But of course, there were really only 2 divisions, large and small. And you like Hoosac Valley and Pittsfield, were all in the large division. Right. Your independent schedule was ferocious. I think one year, I don't know if it was your senior or junior year, you guys played Commerce a couple times. My goodness, and they had a great team.
We took Commerce. They came up here, played us at the Armory. They had a 6'9", I think his name was Blount.
Yeah, Nate Blount.
They had Bustamante. I think he was like 6'8".
Yeah.
We took them to overtime at the Armory, but they did win. But
Well, I got to tell you, I hitched a ride from Adams to see that game. I watched that game. A bunch of us wanted to see that game, and I remember that. It was an overtime game.
It was an overtime game, yeah. We were never expected to do anything against that team.
Right.
Another good one down there was Cathedral.
Cathedral, yes.
Was very good. We
Mike
played
Julian
them.
and
Mike Julian, that's
right.
right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, awesome basketball players. So.
But Drury just had, I mean, that era, I call it really the golden era. You had a run, Drury had a run of about 4, 5, 6 years where you were either first or second in the Berkshire League. You were in the Western Mass tournament, and just outstanding teams, really.
There was one my junior year when we went to the state tournament. We got beat by a team called St. Peter's.
Yes, from Worcester, right?
From Worcester.
Yeah.
If we had Tommy Cately playing then, I mean, he was hurt
right.
most of the year.
Right.
You know, I don't know how far we would have went, but I think it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, that's right. I believe that game, if I remember correctly, that game St. Peter's was played at the Boys Club, wasn't it?
It was at the Boys Club, yeah.
Well, Bill, listen, we want to thank you for joining us here. I'm telling you, this was much anticipated, and we really wanted to get an opportunity to look back with you. Of course, I know you're extremely humble, but really, we put together last year a top 10 list, and we had a lot of input from a lot of different players and people who know high school basketball, and without question, you were at the top of the list on that crew as one of the all-time greats at Drury. We want to thank you for taking the time to join us, and as I promised, I told you I'd make a copy of this for you, and you're in it.
Wonderful.
That's the fourth quarter of that game that you won, and this is an original script that Bucky Bullitt prepared, talking about Drury when they won the Western Mass. Very interesting to see. I've got a lot of his stuff. And
Billy, when I listened to that DVD, I got chills listening to Bucky's voice again.
Right.
It's incredible.
That'd be great to hear it again.
It really is to hear it, and he's, just a great promoter of high school athletics. It was fabulous. Bill, I want to thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure
Thanks a lot,
talking.
Bill, for stopping by.
Really.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Billy Reeves, all-time great at Drury High School. And we're doing a senior night. We're seeing a senior night here at Hoosac Valley. Cornell.
Aiden Wicks, Cadell Bradley, and Blake Mazzio.
And Blake Mazzio, yeah. What a great career this Aiden Wicks has had.
And we give him a congratulations from all of us on his 1,000th point from this week, as John had alluded to earlier.
He's been a part of 2 Western Mass titles in basketball and 2 Final Four teams on the football program. Academically, he's a member of the National Honor Society, SOB, and is a high honor student. Upon graduation, he intends to enroll in a 4-year college, study health science, where he hopes to continue his playing career. He's joined on the floor tonight by his mother, Natasha, stepfather, Steve, his father, Joe, stepmother, Jessica, along with grandparents, Janine and Ken, and friends and family. Congratulations, number 12, Aiden Wicks.
Yeah, he's had a great career for Hoosac Valley, both on the football field and on the basketball court. Done a great job for Hoosac Valley and Coach Larrabee.
Please welcome number 5, Ronell Bradley.
Ronell Bradley as well.
He's been a lot of fun. Both of those young men have been a lot of fun to watch, too.
Basketball programs at Hoosac. He's been a major part of the championship teams in football and basketball, and academically is a part of the National Honor Society.
And what's interesting here, John and Rick, each of the players, when they come out, their fellow seniors come out with them. That's how close they are, Aiden Wicks and Blake Mazzio. So the seniors are in each of these pictures.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 5, Ronell Bradley. On behalf of all of us, the Hoosac Valley Athletics, one last round of applause, celebrating all the Drury High School seniors in the Hoosac Valley class of
Tim, I got to say, great job in lining up that that interview. That was incredible.
And I understand we might be having a little technical difficulty with the sound. And hopefully we can get that taken care of before we get to the broadcast of the ball game. And right now, Hoosac Valley on the floor. And John, talking about the first game that we did here between Hoosac and Drury down at Drury, if you said to me that Jorge Bond would be held to 19 points, you'd say that Hoosac Valley would have had a pretty good shot at winning the game. They did that. I think that's Jorge's low for the season. But they just shot the ball poorly and really had a hard time putting the ball in the basket that night.
Yeah, they only did half their job. Going into the game, they wanted to keep Jorge below his average. They were able to do that. But none of the Hoosac players were able to hit their average. They all were below average, or some of them didn't even score. So you got to do it on both ends of the floor. I thought the night that Drury had J.J. Prengruber gave some great hustle points. Braden Durant had a good game and scored some points. Connor Hinkle and Shane Faucia picked up some points, so they didn't need Jorge's 27. Tonight, every night, Jorge expects to score 27. I've been impressed with his improvement in his scoring on inside and out, and I've been his improvement on the rebounding end. And knowing every game the team is going to try to stop you, he'll still able to get 30 points in 3 or 4 of his last few games. And he's having an incredible year. But that first Hoosac game, he was below average, but he still had 10 rebounds. And he still did little things to help the team win.
Right. Well, we're about 12 minutes away here from the opening tip. The really nice crowd here, as you would expect at Hoosac Valley. And of course, we just finished up a nice interview with Billy Rees, former great from Drury High School. And let's talk a little bit, Rick, once again about the MIAA rankings, both boys and girls. And Drury comes into this one, they're ranked number 1, and it looks like, given the schedule and the record, they've got that position. Looking at all the stats, looks like they got that position pretty well locked up.
Yeah, I looked at them. They came out for the second time this morning, and Drury was assured a number 1 spot, especially with their wins against Lennox and Northampton this week, especially big points against the D2 squad. And yeah, what's nice, and I think Coach Rissett's going to be very happy about that. You earn what you get when it's tournament time, and they will be at the Bucky Bullet Gym regardless of what happens tonight, I think.
Right.
They got Pioneer Valley later on, too. Shouldn't be an issue for that ball game. But I think they're going to maintain that because they have a pretty good-sized lead over the second-place team for the power rankings. And little home cooking means a heck of a lot, and for both the Western Mass and for the MIAs. But Hoosac Valley, Mount Everett, 10 and 11. What a season Mount Everett's had this year. Absolutely,
they are really an unsung team. They have a record of 13 and 2, and they played both Hoosac Valley and Drury and played them tough.
They pulled both teams tough, yeah. Double-digit win for Drury down there, but not by a lot, and I think around 9 or 10 for the Hurricanes win over the Eagles here in Cheshire. But they've handled every other team that they had to play, whether it was D5 or just their league, very, very well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But, before we kick off the MIAs, we've got the Western Mass coming up starting the middle of next week.
And we'll be covering that action right here on Northern Television. We got to look at the schedules, but Drury will be home in the first part. I don't know. Yeah, I asked Jeff Polari, the AD at both Hoosac and Drury, where they were going to play the finals of that. And he said it's yet really to be determined. It really depends on who ends up there. But as you said, both Hoosac Valley and Drury looks like they're going to be at home in the early parts of those tournaments until they get to the end.
So basically 2 out of 3 if they hold court.
That's right. Let's take a look at the girls' end of it, Rick. And of course, Drury in Class C, they're in number 1 with a record of 12-4, and I think they're firmly ensconced in the number 1 position in Class C. And they are also number 1 in the state tournament at 12-4. And you look at the Drury Blue Devils, they had a tough game against a very good South Hadley game. A South Hadley team the other night, a Division IV team that's going to make some noise in the state tournament. But, you know, John, as a coach, I think that game does nothing but help Drury, in my opinion, even though they got beat.
Yeah, anytime you play up and play a bigger division team that's been there before with a great coach, Coach DeBuck, you know, they're big. They're not as deep. I was just talking to Coach Downey, and they're not as deep as usual, but their top 7 or 8 players are strong, big, strong, can handle the ball. Drury was a little bit under the weather that game, but they had a great run on teams they should have beat. And before you go into the tournament, you want to play a team that's better than you and learn about yourself. And I think Drury was able to do that. Obviously, they would have liked to play it a little better, but they learned a lot about themselves, and they know they still got work ahead moving forward.
Yeah. We got about 10 minutes before we have the opening tip here between Drury and Hoosac Valley. The captains are at the center of the floor for this ball game tonight. We've got a veteran officiating crew for this one, and you know, you like to see that, John. This is a different kind of a game to ref, highly emotional, and you want some of the better officials doing this one.
It's the same for the referees as it is for the players and the coaches and the fans. It's a big game. When you get the Hoosac Drury boys basketball game, or you get the Pittsfield Taconic boys basketball game, you are playing. That's your big game, and you want to have your best refs out there. When you come and ref a game, you don't want to be noticed. You want to make the calls that should be made, and you don't want to stand out. You want to just call a good, clean game. And it's good to see 3 veteran officials out there tonight.
Right. All right, let's talk about our keys to the game. And John, let's start off with you. What do you think are the keys to the game tonight between these 2 rivals?
I think Hoosac came out cold the other day. They need to get off to a much better start. I think I watched the game. It was the first time I saw the Hoosac boys play up at Drury, and I thought they were a little bit tight. Aiden Wicks had an ankle injury. I didn't know that until the couple nights after, and I think he was short the whole first half. And then in the third quarter, he heated up a little bit. He needs to get his average or better. And then you need the role players, Craig Field and Mazzio, who get 8 to 6 points a game, need to get those 8 or 6 points. They didn't get it last time. So I think the key for Hoosac is stay in the ball game. Don't let Drury get into a big lead. And then if Hoosac stays in the ball game in their home court, that's a huge advantage. It's tough to win here in Hurricane Dome.
Yeah. Rick, what do you think?
As far as the Blue Devils are concerned, Tim, I think what they have to do is to keep Shane Fauscher involved in the offense for 32 minutes or as long as he's on the floor. The last several games, the Northampton game, the Lennox game, the game last Friday night down at Wacona, he started out with a blaze of fire and sometimes has scored the majority, if not all, Drury's points very early in the first quarter. There was one game where he scored 15 points with 4 minutes left in the first quarter and then got cooled down a little bit. So it's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. But last year, many times we had games, and John, you would remember this, at halftime, the only scorers were Sammy Mormon and Jorge Bond.
Right.
Other kids got involved as the game went on. And so, Jorge's going to score his points, but they just had to play the same way, play their style of basketball, play play the way that they played against Wacona last week, against Northampton, and they'll be fine. Even in a hostile environment, and even away from home, they should be okay as long as they get some scoring from a couple other players. Sammy Bullitt, Braden Durant. They're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think the X factors in this game for both teams, you just touched on a little bit. I think Sammy Bullitt, who's starting to come around now, he suffered an injury earlier in the year. He's kind of working his way back. He hasn't scored the ball necessarily as well as we're used to seeing him do it. And I think the X factor on Hoosac Valley is the young man who has now inserted themselves in the starting lineup, Terrell Johnson, the junior, who's averaging now 8 points a game. He was coming off the bench. I believe he's now in the starting lineup, and I think he's an X factor for Hoosac Valley. He really wasn't a part of that first game. And to John's point, and he pointed out before we came on the air, Blake Massio, who averages almost 9 points a game as senior, he got shut out in that first game, and he's better than that, and that's going to be another thing to watch here.
I know, having coached high school boys for 14 years and high school girls for 15 years, a lot of high school is mentality. And Blake missed his first couple shots up at Drury, and I don't remember him taking too many after that. I think he's just got to score. You got to keep shooting and keep shooting with confidence. And I think like Mazzio and Field, both players that I was looking to see what they would contribute, didn't contribute much the first game, and they're going to have to score their averages. Like right now, Hoosac's the underdog even on their home court. Drury's 14-2. There's no doubt in my mind Hoosac can win this game. Drury's got a battle. Hoosac-Drury is a battle. It can go either way. But Hoosac's got to do all the little things right to make it happen.
Well, before we get started here, we want to give a shout out, Rick. We always have a few shout outs during the game. We want to give a shout out to all our friends down at the Adams Pizza House who faithfully watch our broadcasts. We also want to give a shout out to Drury's #1 fan here, Paulette Wine, who's right behind us.
Yeah, you never know, Tim. When you think that you've got a lot of folks, you have more than you know watching this ball game.
Well, we talked about earlier the unsung heroes and the role players, and we didn't mention J.J. Prengruber. I saw him warming up.
Yeah.
I thought he had a huge difference in that first game, came up with some big steals, and he wasn't a big part of the rotation last year. So that was a key player for Drury that does all the little things. I'm looking forward to see what he brings tonight.
And we're just about ready now for the introduction of our starting lineups. The coaches and the officials shaking hands here before the start of this one. Here at Hoosac Valley, we got a big crowd here. It is getting enthusiastic, going to be a little bit raucous as it usually is.
Last week, I took a ride down to watch the Drury-Wacona game down in Dalton, and I had not been in that gymnasium. And what a beautiful facility they have. What a gorgeous school. Yep. And they had a hostile crowd, and Drury just played their game, maintained the lead all the way, and they're going to try to do that again tonight. Hoosac Valley, I agree with John very much. Hoosac Valley has the capability to win this ball game, no doubt in my mind.
We ask for cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions.
Well, we hope some of the Drury fans will keep themselves down here so they're not in the broadcast. Paulette Wine gets a little carried away here, but she's...
Coaches, officials, and administrators. Let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate. All fans, please note, noise makers, horns, bells, and whistles are also prohibited when you talk from the Hoosac Valley. But now, let's meet your starting lineups tonight. First, for the visitors from Drury, that guard of freshman number 14, Braden Durant.
And Braden Durant, what can you say about the freshman? He has really come along.
Number 2, Sam Bullitt. That guard is junior number 10, Jorge Vaughn. And that forward was senior number 32, head coach, Jack
Connor
Hoosac.
Hinkle, what can you say about him? He does all the little things for the Blue Devils, John.
He's 5'10" and he plays 6'2".
Yeah, no, he's the glue on the team. I call him a glue player. He just puts everything together.
And here he is, Terrell Johnson, Jr.
At guard, a senior, number 1, Blake Mazzio. At guard, a senior, number 12, Aiden Wicks. And at forward, a senior, number 5, Connor Bradley. The head coach of the Hurricanes is Matt Larrabee. Our officials this evening are Bill Henry, Kurt Trelana, and Todd Andrews. At this time, fans, ask that you please rise, direct your attention towards the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right.
This is electric here tonight.
Right. We're getting the preliminaries out of the way. We're just about ready for the opening tip tonight between Drury and Hoosac Valley. And it is a big crowd here at Hoosac Valley.
Yeah, this is what high school basketball is all about. You can't beat rivalry night. I coached 7 years at Drury with the boys, and it's the most exciting nights of the year when you face Hoosac Valley, and we're in for a night tonight. My gut is telling me it's going to be a much closer game, and it can go either way. It'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. We'll see. All right, both teams getting last-minute instructions.
When you look at the Drury team come out, they got a freshman, 2 sophomores, a junior, and a senior. It's a well-balanced team that's fit to keep getting better and better. They'll miss Connor's leadership, and they'll miss their role player seniors, but they got a lot coming back at Drury. They want to put the icing on the cake to this year right now with the win over Hoosac.
Johnson and Fauscher to jump the opening tap. And they're gonna give it to Hoosac Valley on the tap. So Hoosac Valley will have first possession here. Coach is already taken off the warm-up. Drury with their man-to-man to the basket. Doesn't go. There's Johnson. What a rebound.
That's what he did in game 1, offensive boards.
Bullet all the way to the basket. He doesn't get his to go. And here comes Wicks. Wicks had a tough shooting night the first go-around when these two teams met, but he's looking to improve on that tonight.
Coming off his 1,000-point game, he's got to feel good, and he's got no pressure to get that 1,000 points.
Hey,
just
Johnson, he
just
can
play
get
your
up there.
game.
Yep. And there's Bradley. This is a big Hoosac Valley lineup. I think they've got a little bit of a height there. There's Wicks. Doesn't get it. And there's Johnson. He's very active.
Good rebound by Bond there. He's much better on the boards this year.
And that shot doesn't go by Bond. That's a matchup we'll be watching all night. Bond and Bradley. The jump off and score it. Nice penetration by Wicks to Bradley. And Hoosac Valley gets on the board first. And as you said, John, they want to get out and get out early.
Yeah, both teams had trouble scoring early in the first game, and Hoosac's the first one to cash in.
There is Hinkle. They're going to call a travel there.
Yeah, he made a good initial move, but then he got his foot stuck on the ground, and he didn't move it, and he moved it an inch, and it led to the travel.
All right, Mazzio. Hoosac Valley gets into their offense. Mazzio thought about it. Out to Bradley. He's going to take it start. Drops it off to Liebenau. And Liebenau with the basket. So Hoosac Valley gets out quickly.
Yeah.
They lead it 4-0.
Mazzio, game one, I only saw him shoot threes. This time he's getting to the basket and creating for his team, and you got a good look there as well.
Fauscher strong to the basket. The sophomore doesn't get it to go. A lid on that basket early for Drury. They trail here 4-0. 5:39 to go in this opening quarter play between these two arch rivals.
Yeah, well, Drury's not scoring. Hoosac wants to keep cashing in and build a little lead here. Big possession here for both teams.
And Wicks. Ball's knocked away. Good defense there by Drury. And there's Bradley to the basket. It doesn't go. And here comes Drury. Bond. And they're going to call an offensive foul there as Wicks had Fauscher really lined up there pretty well, John.
Yeah, toughest call in basketball, but I think Wicks got in there in time. You're moving your feet and you got to get set, and it's the toughest call for a ref, but they called it right away, and it looked like the right call.
And now Mazzio here. He's running the point for Hoosac Valley, getting them into their offense. Mazzio down the lane, doesn't get it. And on the boards is Liebenau to Wicks. And Wicks doesn't get it to go. And there's going to be a foul on the rebounding action by Liebenau.
Yeah, big rebound by Shane Fauscher, but Hoosac is all over the offensive boards. Drury's got to protect the ball. That time they got a foul on Liebenau.
As you said, Rick, the atmosphere here is electric.
Right, it's a packed house for sure.
This is what high school basketball should be all about.
There's a Durant for three, thus freshman. Braden Durant.
He's starting to shoot the ball the way he's capable of. He started a little slow this year, but midway he started getting hot, and he shows it there again. First shot of the night.
Oh, there's Johnson. Mazzio with the floater, doesn't go. And here comes Bond, he runs it out. Throws it up, doesn't get it to go. Good defense there by Liebenau.
Nice rebound there by Wicks.
Long three-pointer, doesn't go for Wicks.
Good box out by Connor Hinkle, kept Johnson off the boards, and Shane could clean up.
And there is Hinkle. And nice move by Hinkle and count it. Oh, what a move by Connor Hinkle.
Hey, once you draw that contact, you want to get the shot off. He found a way to spin it in, and now he's got a chance to earn an old-fashioned three.
And Drury's got their first lead of the game here, 5-4. Pending the follow shot by Hinkle.
First substitution of the game, guys. J.J. Pringober Jr. in the ballgame.
And
he's earned every minute he gets on that floor.
Last game it was the same thing, a couple streaks each way, and then Drury went on a big one. Right now Drury's on a 6-0 streak.
And Hinkle makes a three-point play, and it's a two-point Drury lead, 6-4 here. 3:45 to go in this first quarter of action. It's a loud gymnasium here at Hoosac Valley. Wicks takes it, and he's going to be fouled on his way to the basket. And I think they're going to call it on Pengruber.
It is.
Just into the game for Coach Rissette's Blue Devils. There's a pull-up by Wicks. Does not go.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't call that one shooting. They got it on the floor, and they got a good look, but they couldn't cash it in.
And the ball can't be controlled, so Hoosac Valley gets a turnover here. They can tie it, take the lead here. 3:10 to go in this first quarter of play. And there's Wicks. And pick and roll, thought about it for a minute. And Mazzio fouled on the floor.
Fauscher.
Yeah, it's going to go against Shane Fauscher.
That's his second.
Yeah, he got the offensive foul, and then that one. He's now got 2, and he's coming to the bench, I think. Hamilton coming in, and Bullitt back in for Durant.
Yep. Yep, in for Drury. Also seeing his first action, Lucas Hamilton, a senior, number 21. And Todd Andrews going to talk to Quinnell. And
Todd Andrews is a very seasoned referee, and he tells me he talks to the kids.
Right.
He's not hasty. He lets them play ball, but he talks to them first.
Well, as we pointed out, this is an experienced crew here tonight for this one, and you need it. Different kind of a high school game. There's Wicks to the basket. Doesn't get it go. And here comes Drury again. Bond in the open court. And score.
That's just knowing where to attack and get your shot. He didn't take the layup. Libano took away the layup, so he made it a 4-foot bank shot. Nothing but net.
8-4 Drury. And shot blocked there. And they're going to call foul on the action. Going to go against Libano. That's going to be his second. And into the game for Drury is Zane Cayley for Connor Hinkle.
Yeah, no, Eden Wicks is a great scorer, but he's having trouble once again finding it against his arch rival. Drury wants to keep him on the schneid for as long as they could, because once he gets going, watch out.
And there's Bullitt from the top. Doesn't get it. There's Johnson. The putback by Bond. He's going to go to the line and shoot a pair.
Boxed out very well there.
I have the privilege of coaching Jorge in soccer, but I'm telling you, I just love watching him in basketball. Last year, he wouldn't have got that offensive rebound. He's doing all the little things this year. I'm super impressed with how he's improved his all-around game.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. He does so many different things well.
He has got to make his free throws for such a good shooter. There's times where he can get a little short, and right there he missed his first one.
And he makes 1 of 2. And Jorge has 3 points now. And Drury has the 5-point lead, 9-4 here, with 1:50 to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, that's a 9-0 run for Drury. Hoosac's badly in a need for a basket.
Oh, and there goes Bradley right to the basket. And he's fouled. He's very aggressive going to the basket, John. He's very, very strong.
Yeah, this is only the second time I've seen Hoosac this year, and I was impressed with Bradley's ability to go to the basket. He wants to finish that one, of course, disappointed it rolled out, but now he can earn it at the line. They need a bucket, at least 1, hopefully 2 for Hoosac here. I did remember him being a great free throw shooter up at Drury. That's a good form right there for a big guy. I would try to get him going to the basket all day and get him to the line, because I think he's got a great foul shot for a big guy.
And both student sections for Drury and Hoosac on their feet here. And Bradley gets them both.
I couldn't even jinx him. He made them both. That's good. I didn't mean to jinx him. I'm impressed with his form. He's got a great rotation.
Ball knocked away. It'll stay with the Blue Devils there. Nice play by Aiden Wicks.
Yeah, he's just a good athlete on both ends of the floor. I'd like to see him get going for Hoosac's sake, but he's doing a good effort on the defensive end.
And Hamilton tied up there. That shot doesn't go. That's a tough shot there. And Hoosac Valley's got numbers. Nazio doesn't get it. Ball tapped away and Drury controls the ball. Here comes Bond. And they're going to call an offensive foul there on Bond. That was pretty easy to call. They had him lined up and
well, Bond made an attacking move, and Payton did a good job stepping in, and Bond was committed to the move, and Payton got there before he did, and it's an offensive foul all day.
Both teams know their job on defense, and they're both going to draw offensive fouls.
Good point there, Rick. Absolutely right. And both, of course, these teams are well scouted, so they know what they're up against.
I coached Ben Payton's dad in JV here.
Oh, a three-pointer for Aiden Wicks. He's on the scoreboard.
Yep, there he goes. Ties up the game. This is the quarter that Hoosac needed. 9-9. They're in the ball game. That's all they wanted to be.
Nice backdoor pass to Bond. He's got 5 points now. Drury leads 11-9.
Bond went backdoor all night the other night, too. They were telling me he couldn't score from outside, and he got about 5 backdoor layups because they got to worry about his shot so much.
Hoosac will play for the last shot. 10 seconds to go. Wicks in isolation. There's Bradley from the top. And he's got it for three. Oh. And that's the buzzer for the first quarter of action here at Hoosac Valley. And the score is Hoosac Valley 12 and Drury 11. And a big three-pointer from Bradley. And you get that kind of a contribution from Bradley. That's kind of unexpected, boy. That's going to be difficult for Drury to defend.
The clock was winding down. He really had no choice. And again, he got a great shot up and buried it. Hoosac went up 4-0 in the first 3 minutes of the game. Then Drury went on a 9-0 run. And it looked like Drury was going to open up a lead, and Hoosac responded with 7 points in the last 3 minutes of the quarter and take a 12-11 lead into the second quarter. Yeah, you got a ball game going here. It's going to be Drury's ball to start, down 1. And it'll be interesting. This second quarter is where Drury took over the game at Drury. And we'll see what happens up here. Because 12-11 right now, Hoosac's very happy with that big 3 at the buzzer.
Right. This is the quarter up at Drury, as you indicated, John, that Drury separated themselves from Hoosac Valley. And really, Hoosac Valley never really recovered.
Yeah, well, if you want to talk about statistics and tonight being a different night, Hoosac scored 10 points in the whole first half. They already have 12. My feeling so far is it's going to be a close game, and the first quarter was very true to that.
Okay, the starting lineup for Drury is back on the floor. Bond, Fauscher, Hinkle. Bond to the basket, doesn't go. That's a tough shot, but he gets his own rebound. Oh, it's stolen away.
By Durant.
By Durant. And there's and a good play there. Ball blocked by Bond. Nice job, Jorge Bond. Blocked Payton's shot there. Saved the basket.
Yeah, he did a great job avoiding the body. Great block on top. I thought he was going to get him in the body.
And a ball is going to go out of bounds. Wicks missed that long three-pointer. Just joining us, Hoosac Valley here with a 1-point lead, 12-11. Just starting the second quarter of play, 7:31 to go in a hotly contested contest between these two arch rivals. And they're going to call a jump, and its ball's going to go over to Hoosac on the tie-up.
I've seen Hoosac play twice, and they play very good on the defensive end. Anytime that ball goes low, they're getting a hand on it.
All right, here comes Wicks now. He's on the point. For the game, the three-pointer rattles in and out there. That was Carson Durant, the junior. Here's Bond. Good! Count it. Jorge Bond with the three. And now Drury has a 2-point lead, 14-12. Bond with 8 points in this one.
Yeah, that was deep, but you can't leave him open. That's too good of a look for him. Hoosac's disappointed with that defensive.
Bradley to the basket. Doesn't get it to go. Numbers for Drury. And he's got another one. Bond. Good play there by Hinkle.
That's great inside-out basketball, but again, if I'm Hoosac Valley, I can't leave Jorge Bond that wide open. Biggest lead of the night.
And now Bond with 11 points here in this first half. There's Wicks. Can't find it. Ball doesn't go. Oh, nice pass down low to Payton.
Great pass by Field.
Yep, Field to Payton for the basket. And Payton gets on the scoreboard. Oh, nice steal there by Wicks. All the way to the basket, does not go with the layup. And here comes Bond. That doesn't go.
Oh, Bond got hit in the head.
Yeah.
He's down still.
Yeah, he's shaking up there on the floor. And they're going to call a foul on this end. Bond shaking up. He's still on the floor. Got hit in the head on that penetration move to the basket.
Yeah, the Drury fans are holding their collective breath.
Oh,
right
yes,
now.
sir. With 5:25 to go in this first half, it's Drury with the 3-point lead, 17-14.
It seems to be upper extremities, John.
Yeah, it
looks like on the head.
Yeah.
right. If it's a head injury, you'd rather, like maybe getting poked in the eye, you're going to recover from that. It looks like he's got poked in the eye.
Yeah.
More than a head, like a bang.
Right.
But
Yeah, may have taken a finger to the eye, so he's going to try to shake that off.
yeah, that's painful, but you're going to recover from that better as long as your vision doesn't get screwed up. You don't want to see him go down with a head injury. That's going to lead him to miss a couple games.
Yeah, he's going to go to the locker room here, and Pengruber in for Bond. And the ball almost stolen away. Yipsy-doo, doesn't go. And they're going to call foul on the rebounding action. That one's going to go against Craig Field.
They're letting them play for the most part. It's physical on both ends, but that one was one reach in too many.
Right. Drury has the basketball in the 3-point lead here with 5:10 to go in this first half. Durant now going to run the point for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, who's going to score for Drury now? Because Jorge's had their last 5 or 7 pretty much.
Hey, on the foul, Ben Cachet is going to check into the lineup for Hoosac Valley. He's going to replace Payton. So he's seeing his first action of the night.
Shane Falsher scoreless. I talked about how hot he got in the first quarter of the last several games.
Yeah,
Hasn't been an offensive factor quite yet.
Yeah, I don't even know if he got a shot off yet. That's a good find.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
rattles in and out halfway down for Durant.
That's a great look by Prenguber, who was in trouble in the corner, and he found Durant open, but it went in and out.
Drury's doing a great job of running Wicks off that 3-point line, John.
They make him earn everything he gets.
And they're going to call foul on the action. It's going to be a 2-shot foul.
Hard work on the offensive glass there by the Hurricanes.
Right. Inside move there.
Drury does a great job rotating on defense, but sometimes those rotations lead to not being in place for the
That's 3 on
defensive
Shane
rebounds.
Fauscher, fellas.
Oh, that's a big call.
Now you have him and Bond both out of the ball game.
Yeah.
This is uncharted territory for Drury for sure.
Yeah. Coach Reset didn't know he had 3. Someone missed it on the bench. Now he's going to sit for the rest of the half, and who knows how much in the third quarter.
And Bradley makes his 3rd foul shot in a row.
Shane picked up that offensive foul, and I think it got missed on the scorebook somewhere because that's 3. They usually don't play him when he has 2.
And he misses that one. His first miss of the night, and it's 17-15 Drury here. 4:20 to go in this first half of action. And as you said, John, uncharted territory. Bond and Fauscher on the bench.
Yeah, no, your 2 leading scorers on the bench. Who's going to score for Drury?
And there is Hinkle on the base. Oh, score it. Power move by the senior Connor Hinkle.
Like I said, Connor Hinkle's the glue when the Drury Blue Devils need a basket. Made a great move, and now he's got another chance for an and one old-fashioned three-point play.
And he gets it.
I
The
think
3-point
that's,
play.
Yeah, 2 of them
Yep.
for 6 points.
The
And
old-
all big points.
The old-fashioned way. Well, he's got 6 points, and it's a 5-point Drury lead, 20-15 with 4 minutes to go in this first half.
Great defense.
No good on the shot. That went over. And again, Drury is doing a tremendous job running Wicks off that 3-point line.
Wicks got a step on bullet and took it hard to the basket, and Connor did exactly what he should have done, helped. Made him pick up the dribble, made him kick it out. He ended up getting the 3, but the rebound went over the rim, over the backboard, and back to Drury.
And that's going to go off there.
Is that on all?
So Drury inbounds the ball. And the kick out, the bullet misses it.
That's a good look.
Yeah, he had a real clean look at the basket. Durant. And that's nothing but air, so ball will go over to Hoosac Valley.
I don't believe they played at all this year without Bond or Shane Fauscher out for lengthy periods of time. I'm sure of that. It's a good test for them right now. Good chance for the Hurricanes.
Absolutely. And Wicks in the corner.
Well, they've had a great year, and the depth is paying off here, and they just got to find people to score. They got people that can play defense, but they need someone to put the ball in the hoop.
And from the corner, count it for 3, Wicks. Nice pass by Bradley to Wicks.
Caught it in rhythm. That's his best shot of the night. He made one earlier, but that one was in dead rhythm.
That's his second 3-pointer of the game.
And they get another rebound, so chance to tie or take the lead.
Oh, beautiful pass. Mazio on the pass to Cachet. And it's tied at 20 apiece. And the putback by Hinkle.
Great catch by Hinkle and a great finish.
Hinkle's got 8 points, and he's doing a yeoman's work for the Blue Devils underneath the boards. Bradley. And Mazio, that's a long 3-pointer. But Hoosac Valley, there's Bradley up the top, doesn't go. Drury with the 2-point lead on the ball here. And a shot blocked away by Bradley. And here comes Hoosac Valley now. There goes Wicks to the basket, and a lot of contact, and it looks like on the action, that's going to be, I don't know if that's on the shot or not. No, they're going to call it on
calling
Shotgun.
it for 2, and Durant took a hard blow there too.
Boy, these teams are playing hard, Rick.
Second foul on Sam Bullitt.
A lot of physical contact.
Braden Durant, who's played a lot,
he is
finally get a rest.
Yeah,
and,
he's gassed. He's coming out of the game because
senior
he's
number 24, Romy Alvarez, in the game.
Yeah, you got 3 bench players. They usually rotate only 2 at a time.
Ball stolen away. And score.
Great finish by Prenguber.
It's a 4-point Drury lead.
Used his body great to get to the basket there.
Bradley with a beautiful spinning move and score. Oh, that was a beauty. Cornell Bradley. And it's a 2-point Drury lead. There's Hinkle at the top. Tries to muscle his way in. Romy Alvarez, and there's Hinkle again. This is the dipsy-do. And there's a strong rebound by Johnson. And they're going to call an offensive foul there. Nice defense as Pengruber had Bradley set up.
Pengruber's had good minutes. He got a driving layup and just took a charge. Those are the little things I talk about. I've been very impressed with his play all year.
And Bullitt going to run it. We're under a minute to go here. And the ball almost stolen by Bradley. 48 seconds to go in this first half. Drury with the 2-point lead, 24-22.
With Durant and Bond on the bench, you had Bullitt running the point there. That's the first time I've seen that all year.
Oh, ball stolen away. To the basket is Mazzio. Missed the bunny. And from the corner, Bradley, they're going to call a foul there.
Over the back on Pringle.
Yeah.
That's going to be the 4th team foul on Drury, and Hoosac Valley already with 4.
You know, John, the game as physical as this. That foul, you wonder, I think it was the right call, but boy, there's a lot of other contact going on.
Yeah, no, he would have got away with it if he didn't follow through. He tried to follow through. If he tried to tap back, he might have got away with it, but they called it 4-4, equal fouls, very physical game. Not too many fouls, but that one was called.
Hoosac Valley can play for the last shot here. There's 10 seconds to go. Bradley takes it hard to the basket. The foul by Johnson. And Johnson's tied it at 24. Drury with the last shot on the runner. Doesn't go. And we're going to end the first half tied at 24 apiece. Hoosac and Drury, and this has been a dandy of a game here in the first half.
Hoosac scored the last basket in each of the quarters, a big 3 by Bradley, and right there Johnson had a putback to even it up going into halftime.
So we finished one half of play here at Hoosac Valley. We're tied at 24 apiece, and it has been a real competitive high school basketball game, guys.
Fierce defense on both ends of the court. But I guess the big news would be Jorge Bond getting a finger in the eye in the midway in the second quarter.
Yeah,
right.
I just saw a signal that he got an elbow to the head, and it might be a concussion. So I don't know if we'll see him again.
Right, he did not come out of the he didn't come out of the locker room after he went into the locker room there with about 4 minutes to go in the first half. He made a penetrating move to the basket and looked like he might have gotten hit in the head, whether it was inadvertently or not. And he went to the floor. He was able to get up on his own power after play was called. And when he came to the bench, he did go to the Drury locker room. So we haven't seen him. We don't know if he'll return. But we're tied at 24 apiece here as we finish this exciting first half of action at Hoosac Valley.
Yeah, both teams are playing some good basketball. Hoosac's very physical. Bond got hit in the head, but they've been physical on both the defensive end of the floor and on the offensive boards. And Hoosac's playing the game they want, and with Bond out right now, we'll see if he comes back. But this is a game that's a toss-up now if Drury's missing their leading scorer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big hill for Drury to climb if Bond is unable to return to this ball game. That's for sure. We're at halftime here at Hoosac Valley. The score is Drury 24 and Hoosac 24. And while we have a moment, we want to thank Northern Berkshire Community Television for the broadcast of tonight's game here at Hoosac Valley. Drury and Hoosac Valley, right here on channel 1302.
Well, here's some interesting statistical information. This is the first time I can remember doing a game and giving a halftime statistics, at least scoring-wise. Each team with 6 two-point field goals, each team with 3 threes, and each team 3 for 4 from the line. So you're not at 24, and it can't be more any closer. Each team very close with fouls. Each team took offensive charges. It was a wash in the first half, and now it's 16 minutes.
Yeah, but you're talking about the Bond injury being a concern, but Foucher also the third foul. It's going to be key when he picks up that fourth foul.
Yeah, it almost seemed, as you indicated, John, when Foucher was signaled with his third foul, it almost seemed like Coach Reset was a little surprised about that. They may not have accurately counted the fouls, etc.
It happens every once in a while. You know what? When I coach, I usually try to keep everything in my head, but you need that someone to whisper in your ear.
That's a great point. But when Shane came out of the game, if you remember, he was coming out regardless.
Yeah.
And maybe Coach Reset you're right. You may not be aware that was his second.
Well, I think mentally they might have forgot about the charge early in the first quarter because he got 2 defensive fouls and 1 offensive foul.
Halftime scores here. Even though he had to leave the game with the injury, Jorge Bond had 11 in the first half. Connor Hinkle played really well and kind of took charge when he had to as a leading senior. He had 8. Braden Durant had a 3, and J.J. Kringle had that layup for 2 for their 24. Quinnell Bradley, he had 10. Aiden Wicks with a couple of 3s for 6, and then 2 apiece for Terrell Johnson, Ben Payton, Ben Cachet, and Ian Liebenow.
Yeah, well-balanced scoring for Hoosac. Bradley being their leading scorer. He's going to be okay. I heard Bond might be okay. We got the scorekeeper from Drury giving signals up to the fans. Yep. So my gut feeling is Bond will be back in the second half because I heard him say he's okay. So I hope I'm reading lips well. I'm not a professional.
I don't know, you're doing pretty good at it.
Before you read the lip shot, I saw the finger or the thumbs up, so I figured it was good news. I believe he did get an elbow. It's all information that we're just getting from folks in the stands. A slight cut and a bruise, but seems like he's okay, and he probably will be back.
Yeah, no, 40 years ago, there's no doubt he would have been back because we didn't have the concussion protocols we do now that we did then. But right now, they're going to make sure he's healthy, and then if he's healthy, he'll definitely be on the floor.
Well, if you're just joining us, we had a great interview in our pregame show with Billy Reeves, one of the all-time greats for Drury High School, giving us his reflections back to when he played in the early 70s, and that was really a treat.
And he had a great memory of not just the biggest games he played in or where he played, Tim, that you asked him, but some of the better players he played against. He didn't miss one.
Right.
Right. He had the Commerce kids' names and all the locals, the ones from South County.
Yeah, that was. I remember. He recounted that game they had up in the Army with Commerce. That was a great Commerce team. Nate Blount, Timmy Will. It was a great team, and Drury took them all the way to the end. He got beat in overtime, but what a great What a great game. But here we are at Hoosac Valley, and we're tied at 24 apiece. If you're just joining us, story in the first half, a very, very hard-fought defensive struggle between these two teams. And we have, in foul trouble, we had Shane Fauscher had to go to the bench midway through the second quarter, and he had to go to the bench with 3 fouls. And, of course, the injury to Jorge Bond, who suffered a head injury, but we understand he's okay. He did come out of the game with about 4 minutes to go in the first half and went to the locker room. We're going to wait to see if he comes back out here. We got a couple minutes to go before we have the opening, before we start second half action here at Hoosac Valley. But we got quite a crowd here at Hoosac Valley for this one. It's been great. And a lot on the line here, as we talked about before the game for both teams. For Drury, they're firmly ensconced in Division 1. In Division 5. They're going to get the number 1 seed no matter what happens here tonight. But they would like to claim a share of their league crown. They are in a 3-way tie with Drury and with Wacona and Pittsfield. They'd like nothing better than to get a share of the crown. For Hoosac Valley, they come into the game with 9 wins. They're most likely going to pick up a 10th win somewhere along the line here as they try to qualify for the state tournament. But they are currently ranked number 9 in the state, and one more win will secure it. And Drury now coming out of the locker room, and Bond looks like he's going to be okay. John, that's wonderful news. You don't want to see anybody get injured, and it looks like he's coming out on the floor and going to play here in the second half.
And it looks like they're starting Fauscher. He's sitting down on the bench ready to start, too, even with the 3 fouls. So that'll be a key. Watching the Bond and how he responds with his injury and how Fauscher plays with 3 fouls will be keys.
Lucas Hamilton came in and did a pretty good job. He's not much of a scorer, but he does everything else well, and I can't say enough about J.J. Prenguber's efforts.
And as you pointed out here, Fauscher has yet to score a basket for the Blue Devils. Likewise, Blake Manzio, who averages 9 points a game for Hoosac Valley, he was shut out in the first half. So both Drury and Hoosac Valley is going to need something from Manzio, and Drury is going to need some offensive contributions from Fauscher.
I thought Manzio did a better job creating on the floor, but he still couldn't find a shot to go. If he can get going, like you're tied 24-24, and your second leading scorer, the third leading scorer hasn't contributed yet. And, if he gets going, that's only going to help Hoosac's causes big time. I like the way he's playing tonight. It'll be interesting when he finds his first basket.
You got a rundown of scoring, Rick, before we get going here in the second half.
And I did.
Oh, you did it?
I did it.
That's right. I'm sorry. I was so caught up.
I will promise you I'll do it again at the end of 3 if you'd like.
I'm so caught up in the excitement here. All right, we're tied at 24 apiece. Drury will have the first possession. We're glad to see Jorge Bond back on the floor for the Blue Devils. And here we go. Bond guarded by Bradley. That's quite a matchup between these two great athletes. Bond with the first shot, doesn't get it. And there's Johnson over the back. Oh, they're going to give that.
Fauscher went after the offensive rebound, led to the tip out by Hoosac. That was in the first game. Johnson didn't start. He matches up well with Fauscher. He's a physical player underneath there.
And score it. And Johnson's going to pick up the foul. Beautiful backdoor play there by Hinkle. Hinkle having a great game for the Blue Devils.
That's the second time Hoosac got beat on the back door. They play so aggressively defensively, and that was a great cut and pass by the Drury Blue Devils.
Hinkle has a chance here to make his third three-pointer of this ball game. The old-fashioned way, I might add. And he does. 3 for 3 from the line.
And we're 2 for 2 for not jinxing the foul shooters
You
tonight.
got it. 3-point Drury lead, 27-24. Bradley. Wicks thought about from way downtown. and Johnson. Thought about it for a minute, and there's Mazzio. They
Bravo.
yeah. A good defensive scheme for Drury, John. They just continue to run. They continue to run Mazzio and Wicks.
Well, you can say what you want about Coach Hoosac, what he's not good at, what he's good at. He's good at just about everything, but he's a great defensive coach, and they're showing the great defense tonight.
All right. Drury with the ball in the 3-point lead, 27-24. There's Hinkle again. Hard to the basket, and they're going to call a block there underneath the basket, and that's going to go against Wicks. I think that's his second.
Yeah, that's the toughest call in basketball, and I think they got it right again there. It was his first, but I think he was sliding in there, and they called it right there, too. It's a 50-50 call, and I think they got them both right so far tonight. And I know the best play in defense is taking a charge, but they couldn't get their feet set there.
And he's been perfect from the foul line. 4 for 4 for Connor Hinkle, the senior, for the Blue Devils. And Johnson checks out of the game. And Liebenau back in now for Hoosac Valley. It's a 4-point Drury lead. Gets them both, and he is having a great game. 29-24, Drury with a 5-point lead here.
Great start by Drury and Connor Hinkle.
Up and under doesn't go. And Bond thought about it for a minute. Nice defense there. There's a nice spin move by Hinkle. Doesn't get it to go this time, but a nice move. Here comes Hoosac Valley. Mazzio finds Wicks in the corner. Bradley's got room to the basket. Up and in, and he's going to go to the line and shoot a three-pointer. Nice move there by Bradley.
Yeah, you're right there. Once he got by you, you're better off just letting him go. Someone put a hand on his back so he could get a clean look at the basket, and he was able to bury it and now get a chance for a three-point play.
He leads
I was going to say, he had a nice, solid overall game.
Yeah, he leads Hoosac Valley with 12 points, and he's
3 for 3, I think, from the free throw line.
Yeah. So it's a 2-point Drury lead again, 29-27. And Bond with the ball at the top, guarded by Bradley. Bradley on top of him, and the ball knocked away there. And Drury's not afraid to go to Hinkle down low. They feel he's got a mismatch there. Oh, ball stolen away by Mazzio. He looks like he's going to try to go all the way to the basket.
And
he
there's
does.
his first bucket, tie game again. 5-0 early on in both halves. There were streaks. 5-0 Drury, 5-0 Hoosac. We're tied up again.
Yep. Both teams won 5-0 runs, John. You're right. We're tied at 29 apiece. Bond looking to penetrate the step back jumper. Doesn't go.
That's his first shot of the second half. It looked good, just a little long.
Oh, ahead to Bradley. Score. Oh, that's a beautiful look by Mazzio to Bradley. And now Hoosac Valley with the lead, 31-20. First lead in a long time. There is Hinkle. Being muscled there by Liebenau. Bond doesn't get it to go. Nice work. And they're going to keep it. A lot of contact underneath there.
Good defense by Liebenau and Bradley on Hinkle's drive to the hoop.
Bond a little long on his drive, but he did a good job keeping the rebound alive, and Drury gets the ball back. See what they can do with it.
Oh, nice backdoor pass. Oh, the Hinkle doesn't go. But he's going to go to the line and going to shoot a pair.
They've run that play on both sides of the floor now. Backdoor cut by Hinkle. That time the foul
Tim.
was called on the floor.
Oh, boy. All right. That's the third foul on Liebenau, and they're calling it on the floor. Okay, so Drury will inbounds underneath the basket. Hinkle on Liebenau. It's just a strong play there. And there's Liebenau ahead. Numbers for Hoosac Valley. There's Wicks to the basket, and he's going to be fouled, but that's going to be on the floor. I think that'll go against Sammy Bullitt.
Yeah.
If it is, that's his third.
And Coach Reset looks to his bench, and
That's actually his fourth.
it's going to be Pengruber, right? So he's going to come in now. And you're going to replace Bullitt. And a timeout by Hoosac Valley here with 4:41 to go in this third quarter, and it's a 2-point Hoosac Valley lead. And while we have a moment, we want to thank Northern Berkshire Community Television for the broadcast of tonight's contest. Our producer and camera person, Matt Tucker, putting it all together for us. And of course, the regular season ends. Hoosac Valley's got one game on Monday, and then, of course, the Western Mass tournament starts, Rick. And as we previewed earlier in the broadcast, on the boys' side, Drury is number 1 in Class C. That division concludes Greenfield, Ware, Lee, Palmer, Athol, Lennox, and McCann, who's number 8, setting up a potential matchup between those two. That'd be great. On the Western Mass boys Class D, Hoosac Valley is in the number 1 spot, followed by Mount Everett, Libertas, Duggan Academy, Hopkins Academy, Veritas Prep, Munson, and Pioneer Valley Christian. And I believe Hoosac Valley ends their season Monday with Veritas Prep. So
if the seedings stay the same the way they are and it stays true to form, Drury will have to go through 2 Berkshire County opponents, McCann and Lee.
Right.
And Hoosac.
Oh, there's an inbound play. Good. Oh, beautiful block there. I believe that was by Foucher. And ball stolen away. Here comes Mazzio. No good. Oh, a lot of action. Bradley steals it away. Going to take a step back. Doesn't go. And there's a foul on the action there. And that's going to go against Craig Field.
One of the biggest things that happened down there was the one-on-one, and Foucher was able to avoid that 4th foul because I was like, no, 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 no. But he did a good job playing good defense and not picking up the foul, and they kept it out of the basket, and now Drury has a chance to tie or take the lead.
And there's Foucher on the outside. There's Pengruber to the basket. Oh, finds Bond from the corner. Good! Jorge Bond answers with a 3-pointer. That's his 3rd of the game, and it's a 1-point Drury lead, 32-31.
That's a great find by Pengruber, and Bond, when he's open, he's 3 for 3 tonight.
Mazzio thought about it for a minute. Dumps it off on the inside. Ball knocked away.
Quick hands by the Hurricanes to get it back.
Mazzio comes up with it. There goes Wicks down the line. His shot blocked. And Drury has numbers. Ball stolen back. And they're going to call a foul there on the play as Field. Nice pass by Bradley to Field. Back and forth, both teams.
Quick hands on both teams. The ball, loose balls all day. This is a dogfight. Every possession's a battle, and everybody's reaching, grabbing, clawing for it. It's a heck of a basketball game.
It really is. Yeah, and Field now goes to the line. He's going to shoot a pair for Hoosac. He can tie it here. And he does. That's his first points of the night. Craig Field, the junior, he averages 6 a game off the bench for Hoosac Valley. And he gets one more here. He can give Hoosac Valley the lead with 3:27 to go here in the third quarter. He missed it. We're tied at 32. Bond hard to the basket, backs it back out. And they're going to call a foul and a technical on Bradley. That's a big turn of events here. So Bond with the basket.
You're going to get the basket, you're going to get the and one, you're going to get the technical free throws, and you're going to get the ball. It's a huge call right there.
So Drury now has a 2-point lead. Bond's going to go to the line and finish a 3-point play. And Drury will get the ball back also. As you said, John, that's a big, big turn of events here. with 3:17 to go in this third period of action.
I assume he's going to stay at the line and take the technical after.
Right, I would assume so. So, Bond. He's got the first. He's 2 for 3 from the line tonight. He's got 17 points here with 3:17 to go here in this third quarter of action. And he's going to get one more. And it's a big, big turn of events here. Now Drury with a 4-point lead pending this foul shot. And they're going to have the ball back. So
Connor Hinkle's the glue for Drury, and sometimes that glue can stick on the opponent's nerves. And Bradley got mad at Connor Hinkle, gave him a little what to do after, and it led to the technical. And now we're talking this could be a 6-point swing if they get a 3-pointer.
absolutely. Now Drury inbounds the ball now after the technical. Pengruber's got some room down the line. And Fauscher thought about it. And there's Bond. Steps back. Doesn't go. That's a long shot. And here comes Wicks. And Wicks with a turnaround. Tough shot for Wicks.
First 2-point field goal of the night.
Ball stolen away.
Yeah, Drury's got to protect that ball. They threw it in between two players right to a Hoosac player. Connor coming right back in. They want the glue.
And Bradley scores it and foul. He'll go to the line with a chance to tie this game up. Another run, John.
It's amazing how many runs there are. Drury had a great opportunity to take a big lead. They didn't score on their possession. And Hoosac responded with a 5-0 response, well, 4-0 response and a chance for 5 points to tie it up again. This is a back and forth. This will be like our 5th or 6th tie of the game.
Unofficially, I've got Bradley with 17 points here. And he ties it up. He rolls it in. We're tied at 37 apiece with 2:40 to go. And here comes Bond now for the Blue Devils. Both teams have gone man-to-man defense the whole way in this one, as you would expect. Hinkle. Ball knocked away and stolen.
That's happened several times tonight. Hoosac showing quick hands on the defensive end of the floor.
Bradley. Oh, no answer for him. And a foul on the action. Hoosac having their way on the boards here tonight. Yeah, they've had the better of it on the board.
They called it on Fauscher, his 4th foul.
Oh, boy. That's a huge call. Huge calls. Cachet, the sophomore, going to go to the line, and Durant's going to have to come in for Fauscher. Boy, that's big, John.
I thought they were calling it on Bond, which would have only been his second, and they went to Fauscher. That's a big call.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. I thought it was Bond that had the foul, but they called it on Fauscher. Boy, that's big. He's going to have to sit down.
Yeah, no, and then you play different with 4 fouls, so that's huge.
Yep. 2:09 to go in this third quarter of action. We're tied at 37 apiece. Cachet can give Hoosac Valley the lead, and he misses it. And there's a rebound by Bradley. Wicks with the open 3. Around and out.
Good battle by Hinkle to secure that rebound.
Absolutely.
Because Cachet was all over it.
Look at Bond. His rattles out, but the foul goes for Pengruber. J.J. Pengruber.
Yeah, someone missed an assignment there. That was the easiest basket of the night.
I'll say. And there haven't been many of them here with 1:38 to go in this third quarter. There's Wicks. Down, nice pass off the Cachet. Boy, a lot of action. They're going to call a foul on Cachet.
And now Hamilton will be shooting 2.
Right.
Both teams are over the limit.
Right. And Drury's got the 2-point lead with 1:26 to go.
That was a good help by Bond preventing the layup, and then Hoosac battles for every offensive rebound, but Hamilton was able to get his body in there and drew the foul.
So Drury with 2 starters on the bench, both Bullitt and Fauscher with 4. Nobody with 4 yet for the Hurricanes.
And it rattles in. Lucas Hamilton, Drury getting some valuable minutes out of the reserves here tonight.
Yeah, they've played all year. Like, you don't know how much they're going to play, but they always get their minutes. And tonight, they're doing the little things. They're not scoring a ton, but there's 2 big points for Lucas Hamilton.
He gets them both, and Drury with the 4-point lead now at 1:20 to go in this third quarter. And this has been a dandy from Hoosac Valley. A packed house to see these 2 ancient rivals. And Tatro into the game for Hoosac Valley. And Wicks finds Bradley.
He's got great hands.
Yes, he does.
My goodness.
And there's 8 on the shot clock, so good defensive set. And there's a Tatro from the corner, doesn't get it. Cachet on the boards, he has been active. Wicks steps back, doesn't go.
That's off Drury.
And it's going to be an accurate call, John.
Good call, John.
Yeah, good call, John.
I've never missed a call from this side of the bench.
All right, so Hoosac Valley gets the ball back. And Bradley around his back. It's a down and scores it. Beautiful shot by Peyton. That's his second bucket of the game. He's got 4. We're down to a 2-point Drury lead again. 41-29. 24 seconds to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to hold for 1, but
There's a
Bradley's
very
gonna put
close, only 1 second difference in the shot clock. And Drury will run that clock down. Bradley and Bond. Bond thought about it, gets the back door down to low, and that's going to put Hinkle at the line. Nice play.
He kind of denied Bond, who wanted that last shot if he had it open.
That's a standard play by Drury, a double screen high, and then Bond can use it or not use it. And then if he doesn't get the look, then Connor rolls to the basket. He got inside position, and he uses his big wide body to create space and get to the line.
And Hinkle. He's had a great night from the foul line tonight. Unofficially, I have him 6 for 6 from the foul line.
Everything was done perfectly there by Drury, except for maybe leaving a little too much on the clock. We'll see what Hoosac can do with 3.6 seconds left.
And he's got 14 points, and it's a 3-point Drury lead here. 42-39. Pending this foul shot by Hinkle. 3.6 seconds left. And finally misses one.
They took him.
And a lost ball.
They took him off the line there. He got the ball, and then they blew a whistle, and he lost his mojo. You got to keep your head on there. That was tough to keep it going.
1.5 seconds. Drury is going to get a last shot here. And they look to him.
Short.
That's not going to go. Good defense on that play. So that's going to do it for the third quarter of play here at Hoosac Valley. And it's Drury 42 and Hoosac Valley 39 in a defensive struggle. Of course, we were tied at 24 apiece at halftime. So we're going to go, looks like we're going down to the wire in this one, guys.
Yeah, it's a total different game than the one at Drury. And the feel was that Hoosac needs a win again in the tournament. A win against Drury, a top-rated team, would give them extra points. They're 9th, I think you said, in the state. They want to get it officially in with the 10th win. You knew Hoosac on senior night were going to play a much better ball game. They've had every opportunity, 4, 5, 6 ties in this ball game. And Drury's able to maintain a 3-point lead, but anybody's ball game in the final 8 minutes. We'll see which team goes on the next streak first.
As we enter the fourth quarter, another interesting stat. Sammy Bullitt and Shane Fauscher, even though Shane was in foul trouble, have not scored in the ball game. Right. And Braden Durant only with 1 3 in the first half.
And Coach Hoosac going right to Faucia to start the fourth quarter. So he's either got to play smart and not pick up the 5th foul, or someone, when he does pick up the 5, is going to have to pick up his slack. Faucia had a good game up at Drury. Tonight, scoreless. We'll see if he can get off the Schnei with a bucket early on in the fourth quarter, but he hasn't found one yet. Hoosac ball first.
Yep. Hoosac will have the first possession. Johnson back into the game for Hoosac Valley.
They run a play for Wicks, wide open.
Oh, we got a good look. And the ball goes to Drury on the rebounding action.
What a rebounder that
Yeah, Hoosac Valley's had the better of it on the boards tonight, no question about it. They haven't been able to convert them, but they've had the better of it.
Hoosac had a great play. Coach Larrabee came up with a good one, but in and out.
That's it for Bullitt. He's done.
Oh, boy, they called it on Bullitt. Is that his 5th? It is his 5th. He's got to sit down. Oh, boy, that's a big loss.
He got his pocket picked, and that was it.
Yeah, that's a big loss for the Blue Devils. So now Coach Reset will go back to his bench. I'm thinking he's going to go to Pengruber now. And boy, that's a big loss for Drury.
Yeah, that's a player that hasn't scored, but he's played in all these big minutes last year, and he's finding his way this year, and tonight he didn't have it, and now he's got to watch the rest of the game on the bench.
And they're going to call foul there.
Foul. Libano's 4th.
Yep. Yeah, moving pick there by Libano.
4s are wild on the floor, 44 with 4.
Yeah, and now into the game is Ben Payton.
And Ben's had 4 points and a pretty good game tonight. Libano plays his role really well, but Payton's been matching him on the floor, so they won't miss it too much.
Oh, they knocked Bond off the line there.
Yeah, that one could have been called.
They let it go. Like you say, these are tough games to ref. There's a putback there by Hinkle.
Yeah, and Connor took a hit, but he kept on going and got his way to the backboard and laid it in.
5-point Drury lead. Hoosac's had no answer for Hinkle tonight. That is for sure. Bradley knifing his way to the basket. And Bradley steps back, doesn't go. But there is Johnson on the boards, knocked away. Good effort there by Johnson, and Drury comes away with it. Big possession here for the Blue Devils. They can open up their biggest lead of the game. There's Durant, doesn't go.
Didn't get a very good look from that corner.
Yeah, no, he was fading away, and when you fade away, you're usually short, and then you didn't get rim. With 25 seconds left in the shot clock, you would have rather had a better shot.
That's going to stay with Hoosac. Boy, that's a break.
That is a break for Aiden Wicks, losing it off his foot, but then going off Durant.
And again, defensively, John, very impressed. Drury has played Wicks extremely tight on the interior. They let him put it on the floor and take it to the basket. They're willing to go with that. They just don't want him to have those open looks from three.
Right, they don't want the open looks, and they make him put it on the floor, and when he does, they have help for him.
Right. Down the line, he's fouled. It looks like the body. They're going to call, I think it's going to go against Pengruber. It is. So it's 6:05 to go. Wicks will go to the line and shoot a pair.
That's 3 on Pengruber. The fouls are starting to mount. Bullitt fouled out. Faucia has 4, and Pengruber has 3. And you know what? It's a great game. I hope that foul trouble doesn't get into anybody's way. I think the refs have been let them play a little bit.
Yeah.
But a lot of ticky-tack fouls right there. Pengruber got called on the floor, and Wicks is going to get to the line for 2.
He had not been to the line until just now.
He gets both foul shots, and it's back to a 3-point Drury lead. 44-41 here. 6 minutes to go in this ball game. Nice backdoor pass. Oh, it doesn't go. Pengruber had a good look at it. Alvarez with a beautiful pass.
Zane Daly.
I'm sorry,
Cayley.
Cayley.
He had a beautiful, beautiful look there.
Yeah, Pengruber was just going too fast at the basket and couldn't slow it down to lay it in.
Mazzio to the basket, and ball thrown away. Payton couldn't control That pass.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Maggio, but you gotta pick up your teammate. Payton fumbled it.
And they're going to call block and foul on Johnson, and that's going to put Hinkle to the.
That's going to be 4 for Johnson, I believe.
You know what? Johnson did a great job trying to take it, but in the last minute he leaned his shoulder in, and I think it was an easy block call.
Yep, so Hinkle go to the line. He shoot a pair. He has been solid from the line tonight. I have unofficially have 7 for 8. That's right, Rick. Thank you. 4-point Drury lead. Gets them both.
Timeout by Drury.
And Drury's going to call a timeout here with 5:29 to go in this ball game. And they've got the 5-point lead, 46-41.
When the technical foul happened on Bradley, I thought it was going to lean towards Drury's way. They were up by 5, but Hoosac responded. We'll see if Hoosac has one more response left in them because they're down 5 right now. And this next minute is going to be the key. Do we get a buzzer beater down to the wire, or can Drury put them away? So it's a big minute, big timeout by Jack. It'll be interesting which team comes out hot.
The biggest lead of this ball game has been 5 points. Drury has had a 5-point lead in this contest several occasions. Hoosac Valley has come back each time to cut that lead. They can't get over the hump. They have led for very small portions of this game. But here we go with 5:29 to go. Hoosac Valley have the ball when they come out of this timeout.
Yeah, if I'm Hoosac Valley, I want to make it a one-possession game with 4 minutes left to go. And if I'm Drury, I want to make it a double-digit lead with 4 minutes to go. Both teams have different agendas. In a 5-point game, the next run will make a huge difference on the outcome of the game.
John, you mentioned earlier Jorge Bond's 19 points, season low in the first meeting. That's where he stands at this moment.
Yeah.
They've done a very good job.
Yeah, tonight
you can't stop him, but you can try to slow him down a little bit.
Right, tonight he had 3 wide open looks and buried it, but everything else has been difficult. And he's done a good job with 19, and he'll go to the line down the stretch probably, and he'll get over 20 consistently.
Wicks to Johnson. He's got 4 fouls. Thought about it. DiMaggio, good defense here by the Blue Devils. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ball tipped away, and it will stay with Hoosac Valley with 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Great defensive set by Drury.
Craig Gruber playing great defense. He did shove them a little bit, but they've been letting it go all night, but could have been a foul. Instead, they got short clock.
Go up and under by Johnson. Oh, right at the buzzer there with the 30-second clock expiring. Terrell Johnson. And he cuts the Drury lead to 3. And there it is, down on the block. And count it by Hinkle. No answer for Hinkle tonight, John.
No, he's getting the position he wants. The defender fell down, and he had the position, and another easy bucket for him. Having a night. Senior leader stepping up.
And there is Bradley.
And Bradley, the senior leader, trying to match him.
Still a 3-point Drury lead, 48-45. The step back doesn't go. There's Johnson on the board. And Hoosac Valley can tie this ball game here as we approach the 4-minute mark of this ball game.
Yeah, they made it a one-possession game.
Could have gotten a foul on Craig Gruber on that one, too.
Yep. There's Bradley down the lane. Doesn't go. Johnson, high for the rebound. And it's going to be tied up. A possession error will go with Drury. But boy, Johnson active on the boards.
Offensive rebounds about timing and hustle, and he has both. Down, he's a great offensive rebounder.
All right, Drury will have the ball here and the 3-point lead.
Good hustle by Zane Cayley to tie him up and get the ball back, but the next possession will now go to Hoosac. But let's see if Drury can cash in on the jump ball.
And Bradley and Bond. Bond thought about it. There's Fauscher. Oh, ball stolen away. Here comes Hoosac. Mazzio. Ball stolen back. And the floor, they're going to call a foul there. Boy, big turn of events there.
Little helter-skelter basketball. Good steal by Mazzio. He tried to attack. He tried to make a pass. He fumbled the ball, and Drury got a tip. And then they got it back, and then eventually a foul.
Third team foul for Hoosac Valley. Drury has 2.
And they called it on Bradley, his 4th.
Correct.
I didn't think that was on Bradley. I think some of these calls are going to some guys who are in foul trouble.
Bradley and Bond, 3-point step back. Good! Oh, that's a big, big shot.
Bradley's done a great job on Bond, but he gave him a foot, and he didn't think he'd shoot from 24 feet, but he doesn't know Jorge Bond's range.
6-point lead. Mazzio with a floater, doesn't go. And Bond with the rebound and a foul.
A little frustration foul, I think, on Blake Mazzio there.
Yeah, and there's now every foul will be at the line for Drury, and that was actually a pretty good foul because if Bond got the pass up, it would have been a 2-on-1.
Big possession now for the Blue Devils. They've got the 6-point lead.
Biggest lead of the night with 3 minutes left to go. They can up it some more right here.
Here comes Bond. He's taking it right to Bradley. He scores it.
That's just a scorer's mentality because it wasn't a great shot. It hit the front of the rim.
Biggest lead of the night.
But
8 points for Drury with under 3.
Because he's a scorer, it finds its way in.
There is Wicks on the line. Doesn't go with the shot. And Fosher with the rebound.
And he's going to the
another
line.
foul. And a technical. Oh, that's a big turn of events there. Fosher's going to go to the line and shoot 2 and a technical. With 2:45 to go here.
Same situation, 2 free throws for the technical, and then you get the ball back. This can put lights out for Hoosac if they cash in on all 4.
Right.
Faucher will take the first 2. Jorge will take the next 2. If they cash all in 4, they get the first double-digit lead of the night, and they get the ball with under 3 minutes.
Yep. Shane Faucher is going to take 2 shots on the foul, and as you said, Drury will then have 2 more shots and the ball back with 2:45 to go.
And I've been impressed with Hoosac's hustle all night long, but that's a couple of tough technicals that might have a big difference on this game.
Here's Shane Faucher's first point with 2:45 left in the ballgame.
Points of the game with 2:45 to go in this contest.
Well, that's a maturity thing there because when you haven't scored and you have to go to a free throw line by yourself, that's a tough free throw. But he was able to get the 1, not cash in the second.
All right, now Bond going to go to the line and shoot a pair on the technical foul. So he's going to get a pair. That's a second technical foul tonight.
Jorge's 4 out of 5 from the free throw line tonight.
Right. He missed his first and cashed in on the next 4. And there he goes.
Nothing but net there. 3 out of 4 gives them an 11-point lead.
And a timeout here as Drury has opened up an 11-point lead with 2:45 to go. And they're going to have the ball back, John, in a big turn of events. It's major turn of events there in this ball game. It's been so tightly contested.
And it has been, and this has opened up a little bit. And sadly for Hoosac, it's unfortunate they picked up 2 technicals. Kurt Chalana, veteran official, Todd Andrews, veteran official. They don't like to call technicals in big games, but the emotions got a little bit out of the way for Hoosac, and now they got a bigger mountain to climb.
Right. And you want to stay tuned to channel 1302. We're going to have lots of action coming up as we've got the Western Men's Tournament and the MIAA State Tournament, and as we indicated, both the Drury boys and Drury girls highly ranked #1 in each of their respective divisions, Division 5, so they're going to have home games throughout the tournament. Hoosac Valley looks like they probably will get at least one home game. They would have loved to have won this one tonight because that certainly would propel them up the ranking ladder. The game's not over yet. They got a big hill to climb here with 2:45 to go. Drury can run some clock and make Hoosac Valley.
You look at Zane Cayley out there down the stretch. It's good to have a player that the moment's not too big.
Right.
He's not afraid of the big moment, and he does a great job on the defensive end, and he's seeing some crunch time minutes. This will be the nail on the coffin if they score here.
Right. Polisher on the top, looking back door to Bond, not good. And Pringruber, there's Bond with the turn, doesn't go from the top. And there's Johnson on the board. He gets it quickly to Bradley.
Big rebound.
Three-pointer from the corner. Short-armed it by Wicks. And
Oh!
yeah.
Yeah, might have gotten away with one there.
Made of. That's right. From the corner. Down! Pengruber for three, and that might be the dagger. J.J. Pengruber, the junior, with a big three ball. And we've got a 14-point lead. And Mazzio, and a foul on the outside.
Man, Cayley, his first.
Yeah, on the block.
Team's third here in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Pringruber doesn't shoot the ball that much, but I know he had 4 or 5 threes in a scrimmage up at Mount Anthony, and they said watch for him shooting. And that one was nothing but net in a big moment.
Wicks for three, and he's fouled. He's going to go to the line and shoot three. And Coach Reset not happy with that one, John, as the clock is not going to be moving, and Wicks is going to be able to go to the line and shoot three.
That's going to be 4 on Pringruber.
Right. You want to,
which may end up getting Durant back in the ballgame
Yeah.
if needed.
and you want to stay tuned here post game. We might have some interviews for you. We'll see about that. Wicks rolls that one in. John, I think Drury has done a tremendous job defensively on Wicks and Mazzio, really running them off that three-point line.
Yeah, that was the first time they fouled him out there, and they kind of let him turn a corner there, and it led to a foul. But all night long, they've been taking it at him and making him drive it to the floor and then immediate help.
Yep, and ball inbound to Bond, so he's going to hang on to it. The senior, they want him to have his hands on the ball, and he gets it to go. Jorge Bond with a slashing basket for the Blue Devils, and they've got the 14-point lead again. 1:20 to go in the ball game. There's Wicks to the corner, doesn't go. He's going to run down his own rebound. And a ball knocked away. It'll stay with Hoosac Valley with 1:08 to go.
Yeah, all you got to do is play good defense and make them use a little bit of clock, because Hoosac did a good job scoring 47 points tonight, but it's very hard to get a 14-point lead in a minute. Nice pass.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful pass. Lieben out of Johnson.
Hoosac's got to start fouling, but they don't want to foul Bond,
Yep.
but that's who has the ball.
And that's going to be Wicks. And so Jorge Bond will go to the line. And Bond's,
See, again, it's easy for me up here, but I would double team Bond, let him not get the ball, and then follow anybody else. Now you got the leading Berkshire County scorer at the line to ice the game.
well, John, I think the story of this one, although it's not over yet, but I'll tell you, the score will not reflect how tough this game was for both teams.
It was a heck of a ball game. With 4 minutes left, it was a 3-point game. And then Drury went on that next streak, and Hoosac hasn't matched it. 4 minutes left, it was 48-45.
Right. And there's Mazzio. He's got a 3-ball.
Bond's going to end up with 30 points, at least high 20s, because he's had a great fourth quarter. And Drury's going to go away with the sweep this year.
And Manziel with the steal gets it ahead to Wicks. And we're down to a 9-point lead, but that's going to do it. We only got 10 seconds left.
And Bond's going back to the line.
Yep. Drury is going to come away with an incredible, hard-fought victory here. Yeah, Hoosac Valley, their record now, they're going to improve to 15-2. And with this win, I believe they will claim a share of the league title. Hoosac Valley will fall to 9-8.
Hoosac's going to be able to make some runs in their division. They got a good team. Right now, Drury has the scoring of Bond, the leadership of Hinkle, and they got depth all over the floor. Prenguber had a great fourth quarter. They're looking really impressive heading into Western Mass.
They certainly are. 10 seconds to go. 10-point lead, 64-54. Drury. Corey Bond with the shot, and he's coming out of the game, and he had a great one for Drury. What you'd expect.
Yeah, there was some scary moments there, but he proved that he was okay in the second half.
Johnson with a putback, and that's going to do it. That is going to do it here at Hoosac Valley as Drury comes away with a 9-point victory, 65-56, in a hard-fought game that you wouldn't expect anything less when these two teams match up.
Drury scored 17 points in the final 4 minutes, and the last 4 minutes made it a 9-point lead. They scored one at the buzzer, but Drury put it away in the final minutes, but Hoosac had a hell of a game, and it was a great ball game for the first 28 minutes. In the last 4, Drury put it away.
And guys, I got to tell you, I think our player of the game, we're going to have an interview right up here right now. Let's see if we can give him a headset. Come on up. What do you get? Let's get him up here. Come on in here, Connor. Come on in here.
How you doing?
Very good.
Thank you very much.
We're pleased to have with us Connor Hinkle. Connor, you're our player of the game here tonight. Tremendous performance in a hard-fought contest between Hoosac Valley and Drury, just the way it usually plays itself out.
Absolutely. That was a great game, and the environment was awesome. But I'm glad we came out with the win in the end. That's for sure.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, we commented during the course of the broadcast on a couple things. Number one, I thought your defensive game plan was great. I thought you did a great job running Hoosac Valley shooters off the three-point line.
Absolutely. We have the best coach in the country. It's Jack. And he gets us prepared for every game, and this was no different. We've been doing it all season, and we've proved that. So I think we're the best team out here.
Well, listen, you firmly ensconced yourself as the number one spot. And the other thing that we commented on the broadcast, Hoosac Valley also was trying to concentrate on Bond and Durant on the outside. They were doing a pretty good job controlling them.
Yeah.
And Drury was looking for you, and they looked like they really had you in mind offensively, and they were willing to go down low, and Hoosac really didn't seem to have an answer for you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you not guard Jorge and Braden out there? They're the best two shooters that I've ever seen. So, I'm just glad my boys had the trust in me, and I'm glad that, we came out with the win in the end.
Well, you did a great job, and also a great job on the foul line. Unofficially, I think we had –
Let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 8 out of 9.
8 out of 9, boy.
And the other one just rolled off.
I know.
When you shoot 8 out of 9, you're not going to lose many balls.
Unofficially, we don't do all stats, but 20 points. What a way to end your career here.
Absolutely.
Because you give 100% all the time. Doesn't matter what you score. you need to be out there. You're a catalyst of that team. But tonight, you wanted the paint. You owned the paint.
Absolutely. I always, I want the ball, but we got to share the ball throughout all 5. 1 through 10 at that point. But,
yeah, right.
I'm thankful for my boys getting me the ball, and I'm thankful for having the trust in me to do that. And we're ballers.
Well,
ballers.
you guys have had a great season so far. We want to wish you the best of luck. Now, the rest of the way, we'll be covering you, I'm sure, both in the Western Mass Tournament and the MIA. You guys have earned the number 1 spot. You deserve it. You guys have had a great year.
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Now,
much.
listen, you got one other job to do. Could you get down and have your head coach come up here if he's got a moment? He's talking to all the press, but, see if you can get him to come up here.
Yeah, I'll try. He's not a talkative guy, I got you.
Thanks, Connor.
Thank
Connor
you so
Hinkle,
Congratulations,
our player of the game here tonight, Hoosac Valley and Drury, and he had a great game, and we're going to have
Debbie.
We're going to have see if we can get.
Well, we had him.
Yeah, well, we had him, but he's talking to.
You want Jorge?
Yeah, if he wants to come up,
Jorge!
listen. We're doing a lot of post-game interviews. We're gonna bring in Jorge Bond. Jorge, thanks for joining us up here on Broadcast Row.
Oh, this thing's pretty cool.
So listen, Jorge, congratulations, number 1. What a great contest, great atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely.
It was as we said at the end of the game, you'll read about the game tomorrow. This was a nip and tuck affair the whole way.
Yeah, definitely. It was a very physical game. Yeah.
How's the eye?
It's all right.
Yeah.
I just got poked. I think found a new contact in my bag. That was all good.
So was that the issue? It was an eye issue?
Yeah, it was just an eye
Well,
issue.
we were worried that you got banged up in the head there a little bit.
No,
but
all good.
Good. Well, Jorge, listen, you guys now have clinched a share of the league title, which is an accomplishment in and of themselves, and the number 1 seed. It looks pretty certain now with the rankings that you guys are going to, especially with this victory, going to maintain the number 1 spot, both in Western Mass and in Division 5. So no matter how far you go, you're going to be at home up at Drury.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be great. The home atmosphere is definitely different. We can shoot the ball way better. I mean, shots weren't falling, as I heard, in the second quarter. In the first quarter, third quarter, they weren't falling. Fourth quarter, they started to fall a little bit. But at home, it's definitely going to be a better shooting.
Well, we commented with Connor that both your game plan, your defensive plan, Drury's, and Hoosac Valley, you guys did a great job, I thought, of running Aiden Wicks and Mazio off that 3-point line. Hoosac Valley, I think, had the same philosophy with you. You were able to get the ball to Hinkle, and he had a great game for you.
Yeah, he definitely had a great game. Yeah.
Hoosac Valley had no answer for him, really, down on the block.
No, he was awesome tonight. He was amazing.
Yeah. Well, look, we want to congratulate you. We're going to be doing more games down the ride, and we want to wish you the best of luck going forward. Nothing but the best to the Drury Blue Devils. You guys have had a great year so far.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
I had one thing for Jorge.
Yeah.
Last year, you fell a little bit short against Granby in the Western Mass. I know you're going to want to get back there into the finals again. And you played at home, knocked off Boston English, and you made the Final Four. But coming into the season, what were some of the goals you and Coach Jack had come up with? I mean, I would assume trying to win the Berkshire League, or at least do well in it. I would assume beating Hoosac Valley, and then taking small steps as Western Mass and the MIAs come on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the league is nice, but we like to call it our preseason and our postseason when it really starts.
Right.
So it was definitely one of our goals to win league, Western Mass, and then hopefully the whole thing. But we win 7-2, I think. I mean, if Pittsfield won tonight, we'll see. But it's great. It's great. It's great.
I see both of you ending at 8-2.
8-2, yeah.
Right.
Regardless of your matchup, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But it's just. I think Coach Rossett had told us earlier in the season when he saw the schedule. Just give me 10 wins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just want to make the playoffs. We need to prove ourselves from last year.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, best of luck, Jorge.
Best of luck the rest of the
All
way, and you got one other assignment, and that's to get Coach Rossett up here. All
right.
Because we want to talk to him.
Thank you.
Jorge, thanks a lot. Jorge
Thanks,
Bond for the Drury Blue Devils, who came away victorious here tonight with a 65-56 win. And what a nice young man Mr. Bond is, the players are following. We got Coach Rossett coming in here one bit. we got the next man up, Coach.
Okay, got it.
Coach.
Well, I just understood you won the Berkshire League, Coach.
Great atmosphere.
Beat Hoosac Valley, win the Berkshire League. Now Jorge says that's all preseason to us.
Great atmosphere here tonight, and we said at the end it was a 9-point game, but I'll tell you, you'll read about it in the paper. It doesn't really match what was going on here tonight. These two teams battled tooth and nail the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, we made some big plays down the stretch.
Oh, absolutely.
And they couldn't get a basket, and they beat us on the boards a little bit, and they get a second chance. And I thought we did a decent job on Wicks late, not letting them get the three off. And, a couple 2-point baskets here or there. But, I thought our bench played really well. Prengruber came in, gave us great minutes.
Great game.
Great minutes.
You had some guys that had to step up tonight on the bench. And we commented during the broadcast, we thought the defensive game plan was excellent. I thought you did a great job running Wicks, who's a good scorer, off that 3-point. And even Mazio, you ran him off the 3-point line and made him put the ball on the floor and penetrate.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it like, twos are better than threes. We don't want to give up any, but, I thought our weak side help wasn't as good as it could be. But when you run guys off the line, you're creating a lot of 4-on-3s in small areas.
Yeah.
And, but I thought overall, we hung tough when we had to. Hinkle had a huge game.
Oh, absolutely.
Senior leadership right there.
Yeah.
He's been in these games. He knows how to play it.
Yeah.
Kept his composure, and, it was a good win.
Yeah, no answer for Hinkle tonight. He was a real horse, both low and on the boards and defensively for you guys. He's just a great performance by Connor, the senior.
Yep. Again, I think that's being around. Right, he's played in a lot of big games, and he knows what it takes, and he kept his composure. So
on to Western Mass and the States. You're looks like you're pretty well locked in now as the number 1 seed. Of course, the beauty of that is you get the home floor for as long as you stay in action, so to speak.
Yeah, again, I mean, the number means nothing once you start playing. There's a lot of teams out there that are very good. You got to bring your A game every night, and you hope for the best, and sometimes you got to get a little lucky.
Sure. Yep.
Free throws for Drury, 18 out of 20.
Just tremendous. Tremendous from the line tonight.
18 out of 20.
We try to do 3 things: don't turn the ball over, rebound, and make foul shots. We turned the ball over like it was our job.
Yeah.
And we got beat on the boards, and we made foul shots, which was the difference in the game. We started to rebound better late.
Yes. Late. I agree with that.
But well, that's a nice effort for the kids.
Coach, congratulations. We'll see you down the road. Couple days. It'll be a good
Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl.
All right, let me get my kids out.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Thanks an awful lot for joining, taking the time. All right,
run down the scoring here. First of all, for the Hurricanes, they were led by Cornell Bradley with 20 points, 10 and 10. 10 the first half, 10 the second half. Aiden Wicks with 14, well below his average. 8 for Terrell Johnson on a tremendous night on the boards.
Right.
4 for Ben Payton, 3 for Blake Mazio on a 3 very late, and 2 apiece for Ben Cachet and Ian Liebenow, and a free throw for Craig Field for their 56. For the Drury Blue Devils, Jorge Bond with 32, 11 in the first half, 21 20 in the second half, 32, 20 points for Connor Hinkle, and as I said, John, I don't know if you heard it when I said 18 for 20 from the line for Drury.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Oh,
That's incredible. That's a great night of shooting. They've had some off nights, but if you shoot 90%, you're going to win most ball games.
J.J. Pringle with an incredible performance off the bench, I thought, with 7 points, but everything else that he did with rebounding, passing, and his defense was outstanding.
And 7 points, but a timely 3 that put the game away.
Absolutely, John. Braden Durant with only a 3 tonight, so he was quiet. Lucas Hamilton with 2 free throws, and Shane Fauscher with a free throw. So figuring that 2 kids that average almost in double figures barely scored, boy, did Connor Hinkle step up tonight as a senior. Incredible.
Yeah, he really did. He had a great contest tonight, and of course, I'll just leave it this way: it never fails. It never fails to live up. It was a great atmosphere here tonight. Great experience between these two fine high school teams. They may meet down the road. We don't know. In Division 5 in the state tournament, it's a possibility. But it was really a great atmosphere here tonight, and a great high school athletic event.
Well, I love watching Drury because Bond ended up with 32 points, which was 19, I think, going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
Connor ends up with 20, but nobody on Drury seems to care who's scoring the points.
Right.
Like when they needed Connor Hinkle, he stepped up in a big way. Faucher was in foul trouble, and Bond was hurt, and he had three 3-point plays in the first half. And then Bond, came on in the second half and got his 32 points, and he didn't even look like he tried to get it. It just comes in the flow of the game. I'm impressed with this team. They got a legitimate scorer and great role players and great coaching. I'm looking forward to the Western Mass and then the state tournament.
Yep. It's going to be exciting down the road. You want to stay tuned to Northern Berkshire Community Television. We'll be trying to cover as much as we can playoff action, both boys and girls. And that's going to do it here from Hoosac Valley. Drury with the victory tonight, and they win the conference title as Pittsfield was beaten tonight by Taconic. So Drury has the outright championship of the conference as well as this victory tonight. The final score here was Drury 65, Hoosac 56. For my broadcast partners, John Jacoby and Rick Boa, we want to say good night.
Go Patriots.
That's right.